All right, guys, so we're going to do a swan or a glute stretch. We're going to go a regular swan going into a sleeping swan. So we'll start by bringing the left foot underneath that right thigh. Again, loads of different ways to do this. You want to try and have your foot as in line with your knee, but some people it's just not possible. So with my back leg, you can see that I'm bringing it more to the center of my body. So my knee is more in the center, say in line with your hips, but I like to have it a bit more in the center, and I can feel that in my glutes immediately. So staying upright first, this feels good. Again, any tightness in the lower back, you're gonna hear about it or feel it. Again, just relax. Then if you want to, go down onto your forearms. If that feels more comfortable for you, crack on. I'm just going to be here for a few breaths. You can go straight into sleeping swan if you like, that works for you. Not too bothered. Nice deep breath. And then slowly come up and we'll swap sides. So again, if you want to shake it off a little bit, go into a downward dog, that's fine, crack on. And then we'll swap legs. So right foot underneath that left thigh. Again, one side's always going to feel a little bit different to the other. And that is normal. Down into sleeping swan. Again, you could have done that from the start, it's up to you. Last deep breath. And slowly coming out into a rebound, so whatever that may be. All right, next we're going to do a melting heart or a puppy pose, loads of different names for it. So I want to start with my knees roughly around hip width apart. Okay, again, you may need to adjust accordingly, but the hips stay over the knees. I'm going to tuck the tailbone up into the air. It's almost like sticking my tailbone up. Hands go out in front, and then the head comes through the shoulders, and then we relax the head on the ground. So main areas, maybe in the lower back where we've done that little tilt, but also mainly in those shoulders and the top part of your back. One of my favourite stretches. About 4 more deep breaths. Last breath. Not ever, but slowly coming out of this stretch now. Ooh, that's a good one. And again, reset however you like. So I've done this, so I like to open up my chest this way. Next, we're going to do a saddle or a single saddle as well. So a couple of options. So again, I'm going to sit down. Excuse me. I'm going to sit down. So this one, you can see my heels are a little bit wider than my bum. Now again, you can get a block here if that feels more comfortable doing this position. I feel it mainly in the quads here, and then you would just bring your hands out nice and wide and just breathe. Make sure you keep your abs nice and tight for this one. You might feel a little bit of pinching in the lower back. Again, big difference between pain and discomfort, right? So just make sure that if you're slightly uncomfortable, you're good. Any pain, readjust. Last few seconds. 3 deep breaths. And slowly coming out. And again into your reset. All right guys, so we're going to do a reclining twist. And again, lots of different options here. So lie down on your back, bring your knees together, okay? Hands are out wide. And just make sure that your hips are down into the ground, your shoulders are into the ground. Now option number 1 is just to rotate the knees to the right side. Okay, already I can feel this quite, I'll say aggressively, but quite heavily inside to my glutes and into my lower back. Try not to bring the hips too far over. I want to keep those shoulders down onto the ground, knees are around 90 degrees. That's option number 1. Option number 2 is just to straighten out that right leg, so the leg that's underneath, and come over, you can attach and hold if you like. Again, this is probably, well, it is more aggressive because I'm applying more pressure through the leg, but if this feels good and feels comfortable, crack on. Option number 2, if I keep my knees bent and I just cross my leg over and come down. Option number 2, that was option number 3, wasn't it? I should feel a little bit more. Again, it's just like having an assisted stretch there. Last couple of breaths. And relax. We'll swap sides. We'll do exactly the same, but now on the left side, so hands down. And then we're just coming down to our left. And if this, again, if this works for you, this feels good, stick with it, guys. You need to go, let your ego take over and go, well, this, he said this was the hardest one, so I'm going to do this one. You know, so I'll tell the lads, or the girls. This is a good one for me, but I actually really like the one where I bring my leg over and come across. I feel like the stretch works for me. last couple of breaths. And then just relax. And again, reset pose, whatever works for you.